Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. You've obviously heard the latest buzzword that's been taking over the SaaS and startup worlds by storm, and that is, of course, vibe coding. The promise is intoxicating. The idea is that you don't need to know how to write complex code. You can just vibe an application into existence using natural language. You just describe what you want, and the AI builds it. But is this reality or just an overhyped demo? Today, we're going to do an expose on the current state of vibe coding. We'll look at the landscape of the tools out there. We'll break them down into the consumer-oriented prototyping tools versus the professionally oriented developer tools. To help us separate the magic from the marketing, I recently sat down with my good friend and partner, Derek Burney, who is frankly the best developer that I know, so that I could get his thoughts on the current reality of where these tools are.
So it can do small things. It can do, small chunks of a big thing, I guess. But it's not at the point of like, oh hey, just like, create me Facebook and it's gonna do everything perfect. I think the main limitation is the token limit, which is like the context. So how much data it can load in. Unless you're very specific and really monitor it and understand, it's good for small things. It's good for MVPs. It's good for little projects, but I wouldn't say that it's enterprise grade or something you'd want to push to a production with, customers and sensitive data and
not enterprise grade. So keep that phrase in mind. But before we get into why that is, let's explore the tools that are currently dominating the market. Let's start with the consumer-facing tools. These are platforms designed for founders, marketers, and non-technical builders who want to quickly spin up a minimum viable product or a prototype. So first up, we have VO by Vercel. VO is a UI generation tool. You describe the interface that you want, and it generates beautiful production-ready React components that are styled with Tailwind CSS. It's fantastic for quickly designing the look of a site, but it's strictly front-end. There's no database or back-end logic that gets generated. Second of all, we have Bolt.new. Bolt runs in a full Node.js development environment that's entirely in your browser using web containers. You can prompt it to build a full stack web application, and it scaffolds the front end, the back end, and the basic database functionality almost instantly. It's great for quick demos and hackathons, but developers report context degradation and high token burn once projects get moderately complex. So third up, we have Lovable. Lovable combines a visual point-and-click editor with an AI chat interface to let you build full-stack applications. It auto-provisions a real PostgreSQL database and authentication via Supabase. It's heavily geared towards design-led teams and non-technical users who want to go from prompts to a deployed functional app in minutes. These tools feel really magical, but I spoke with Derek, and he had a fascinating insight into how these consumer tools are actually generating these layouts so quickly.
So you have the login, you have maybe the article, the hero section, the content. And so anybody who's familiar with WordPress knows like, okay, hey, you can select this or, like some theme builder, like say like Elementor or Divi, right? Where you can like select this, select that, select this. Well, not AI, but like Lovable and Bolt and these things, they have that in the back end for their AI. So when you're saying, okay, hey, I need to put a login flow or I need to put a chat, the AI is just pulling from, imagine the AI just controlling that Divi or Elementor, Divi, exactly. So it's more like the AI is an interface. It's a new user interface.
Exactly. For a lot of these platforms, you're interacting with a conversational UX layer that's draped over existing templates and frameworks. And because they hide the code, simple manual edits can become incredibly frustrating and expensive.
You said about the social media links, and when you want to change them, it's consuming an AI credit. There's no way that they're using, Anthropic or OpenAI for, like, they have some form of script that does that. Like, you don't need AI to do that. So it ends up that they're making it feel magical, and they're charging costs for all of these changes, but the big majority of them aren't even touching AI. It's just like, it's machine learning. And
So, if consumer tools are just a UX layer for rapid prototyping, what happens when we move up the food chain to the professionally oriented tools? These are tools that are built for actual developers to help them work faster. So, first up, we have Replit, their agent. Replit's a browser-based IDE. That's an integrated development environment. It features an AI agent that can scaffold apps, debug, and help you code within a live Linux container. It keeps the developer very close to the code while automating the setup and the hosting. Second of all, we have GitHub Copilot. Copilot is an AI assistant that lives directly inside your code editor, like VS Code. It's designed to provide real-time intelligent code completion, refactoring suggestions, and inline chat that speeds up a developer's existing workflow without taking control away from them. And then third, we have Claude Code and OpenAI Codex. These are autonomous engineering agents. Claude Code, for example, runs directly in a developer's terminal using agentic search to explore a massive code base, understand dependencies, and then execute complex multi-file refactoring. But even at this high level, Derek pointed out a massive roadblock, and that's the context window.
so think about it like a brain, right? Like a human brain. It's like you can only remember so much, right? Like, I forget what it is, but like it's like you can only remember so many people. So like if you've met 10,000 people, you're not going to remember everything about the 10,000 people. So the same thing is with AI. It's not it's not that it's not probably capable. Like you could probably turn that way up, but what it is it cost effective, and is the services offering that? You could have worked on something yesterday. It could create it. And then now you get in, starts using all the context, you're doing something else, and then all of a sudden, the things that it learned yesterday, it doesn't mean it's going to remember today unless you load them back in. So, but then it can only hold so much. So it's like as the code base gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Unless you are making it in steps.
Because an AI can only hold so much code in its memory at one time, it loses the plot on large enterprise-grade applications. It might fix a bug in Module A, but completely break Module B because it forgot how they connect. Which brings us to the eventual summary of the entire trend. While vibe coding tools are incredibly helpful, they're not ready for prime time. If you're running a dispensary, a retail chain, or a SaaS company, you can't just prompt a custom enterprise system into existence and trust it to run your business. Here's Derek's analogy on why letting an AI blindly fix computer code is incredibly dangerous.
It's not viable at all. Because like you have to know, if you don't know what it's doing, like if you don't know where it's messing up, then you can't fix it. Right? It's like, meaning like, think of a mechanic that you bring your car to, and he's not a good mechanic, and the problem is it won't start. So instead of just like, where would you start first? You'd start like maybe checking the battery. No, you would start with the battery first, right? And so instead of that, the mechanic changes the starter right away, right? Like, oh, let's not check the battery. Oh, it's not started. Let's start it. Okay, then he changes the ignition lock, or if you got push button, he changes the push button. Then he changes the electrical. He's like, oh, well, maybe it's the wiring harness. So he changes all these expensive stuff, and then it turns out, oh, it was just the battery. Then he gives you the bill for all these parts that he's changed, when it was just the battery, which would have cost you a couple $100. Instead, it cost you thousands of dollars because he changed all. So he's basically just like changing until it works. And that's how I feel like what AI sometimes does.
And the cost of the AI just guessing isn't just a broken website, it's an immense security liability. If you don't know how to code, you don't know what the AI is leaving unprotected.
So like, okay, hey, go do this. You know what I mean? And then you check its work. But if you don't have the ability to check its work because you know nothing about coding, well, then that's a problem. Then you couldn't. Oh, is there an XSS vulnerability? Is it sharing the API keys in plain text? Is it not hashing the passwords? There's a million things, and so if you don't know what to look for, then I mean, what can you do? If you don't know how to check, then how can you know? So I don't know. I think it's more like an accelerator for somebody who knows what they're doing. So then they can make sure, and they know, like even when you use AI, it says right on it, Claude Code can make mistakes. Like it's like that's the disclaimer right on the bottom. Like,
so if you shouldn't vibe code your own enterprise software, what are your options? For most businesses, it means falling into the SaaS trap. You end up buying off the shelf software, and the costs can quickly spiral out of control.
A lot of these SaaS products are predatory in a sense that they give you this massive discount. Like HubSpot, if you're a startup, you can get like 90% discount. So it's like and then because they know that once you get your customer data in there, you integrate it into your workflow, all your employees are using it, it's very hard to get off of it. So what happens is, you're on a, say, $2,000 plan per month, right? And that's a small plan for a small company, but it's still like very expensive. So you're on a $2,000 plan, but they're giving you 90% off, so you're only paying $200 for the first year. And so you're like, okay, then all of a sudden it's like, bam, now it's like 2,000 or more because you've hired more employees and stuff. So now you're paying them like 15,000.
If you're paying $39 a month for a seat for, let's say, 150 employees, you're spending over $70,000 a year just to rent software that doesn't necessarily fit your business. But there is a better way. Instead of renting generic software or trying to safely piece together an app using AI tools that you don't fully understand, you can have custom software built specifically for you for a lot less than you might think.
Yeah, I would say that the advantage is you get to tailor something exactly to your processes, how you do the work. So it's and add the features that these big companies, you send them. You're on Service Titan, you're on Podium, you're on any of these big companies. You send them and a message, hey, we want to add this, and it's like 12 months later, it's still not added. I have customers like that, so then it's like, okay, let's just build it the way that you want it. Optimize it for your workflow, and then stop paying these monthly fees because now you're just paying for maintenance and maybe a server cost, right? So you're paying probably 5 to 10% of what you were paying once it's developed.
AI has fundamentally changed development, and while it isn't ready to let non-coders build a secure enterprise system alone, it has allowed expert developers like Derek to build custom, highly secured, deeply integrated software much faster and much more cost effectively than ever before. So here's my call to action for you today. Don't trust your sensitive customer data to a prompt, and stop paying tens of thousands of dollars a year in predatory SaaS fees, often for features that you're not even using. Head over to softwareyouown.com and use our calculator to see exactly how much your current SaaS licenses are draining from your bottom line. And then let Derek and our professional development team build a custom, secure, tailor-made project specifically for your business. We leverage these advanced AI tools behind the scene as accelerators, ensuring that you get a flawless, secure, enterprise-grade system that you own outright. Take back control of your technology. Visit softwareyouown.com today, and let's build you the exact software that your business deserves. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be sending you a follow-up email with some resources from today, including how you can get in touch with us. And now let's get to the networking portion of the program. Don't hesitate to ask us any questions that you might have. We'll be at the bar. Come join us.
You got a product, you got a plan. Scrolling past you is every fan. They need a face, they need a why. Not just a logo in a crowded sky. So bring your story in the frame. Let them feel you say their name. From the laptop to their phone. You don't sell it all alone. It's sold with stories, sold with heart. Sold when they can see your part. In their day, in their dream. On the screen with your whole team. It's sold with questions, sold with truth. Sold when they can talk to you. Turn those strangers into friends. Sold with the calm. That's how it spread. Yeah, hit record on a quick hello. Ask your people what they wanna know. Host a convo, share the mic. Little live room where the right ones like. From a hallway in your home. You can build a buzzing room. Voices weaving through the chat. Every hate can change the stats. It's so with stories, so with heart. So when they can see your part. In their day, in their dream. On the screen with your whole team. It's so with questions, so with truth. So when they can talk to you. Turn those strangers into friends. So with .com. That's how it spread. Post a talk, spark a thread. One bright clip in their head. From a share to a sale, then more. Every story